Welcome to this series about capacity and capability building to craft and shape operations, enabling adoption and adaption. As we go through this journey, we take a more in-depth look at selective aspects with a focus on business issues around technological transformation. We hope the skills and expertise shared is of value to you and those you support in this changing world. Please subscribe, add your comments, share with others. This session is mainly a postscript to the series along the adoption and adaption journey. We draw out 2 points. It is not the technology, it is the implementation with the operations and services, as well as the business integration, which is the main issue. Also, the same aspects which have caused issues around technology are being repeated. While we use artificial intelligence and the automation of knowledge worker services, we could be talking blockchain, crypto-currencies, Internet of Things, driverless cars, or big data analytics, down to the people factor and what people do. Irrespective of the frameworks implemented to mitigate risks, it is the actions of individuals in leadership positions which impact. Vested interest. How we manage the vested interest alignment impacts the automation of knowledge worker services and the use of AI. From politicians and ideological driven agendas to unrealistic promises to executive, to loss of money and power, vested interests are by far and away a key factor in the use of AI. It is in the vested interest of cryptocurrency miners to manipulate markets, and it will eventually be in the vested interest of governments to regulate global economy runs, financial crime, and control. Incumbency. Managing incumbency is a leading factor in AI use and transformation. From the cost to replace, to unassured outcomes, through to vested interests, incumbency impacts AI. A cryptocurrency needs to overcome the incumbency of current payments systems and operations to respond. Managing unrealistic expectations and accepting that things take time to implement is important. Successfully implementing AI. Amongst these is the need for adequate testing and benchmark testing. Look at even now how much technology implementation overlooks requirements and testing after years of experience and having these pointed out as issues. Silo view. Having a silo view and neglecting interdependencies and interaction is a common failing in technology implementations. Ask yourself why AI is immune to these and just why is this the case? Yet we see it in many instances. Beyond AI, the silo view is seen in cryptocurrency silos or in automated driving where aspects like ownership were initially ignored. Lessons learned. The need to learn lessons for next time is part of business. From internal audit to post-implementation reviews, the lessons are there but are often ignored. And this is the belief in things like not applied to me, not needed in this case, or my experience is different and so I don't need them. Where it is AI or blockchain, the examples of ignoring the lessons learned are glaring. And the fact that this is recognized. This time it is different. One last theme is this time is different. Each time the panacea or the silver bullet takes hold, the proven pragmatics are seen as being replaced or not applicable. And yet, each time this comes home, the AI failings already seen show this, and yet the cycle repeats. The history cycle repeating is a human factor, but we decide what we want to do. Know how to change the cycle of history when it comes to AI, but do we have the desire to do anything about it? Making changes requires we address environment. We change the environment to instill the right behaviors for successful AI implementation. Amongst these is the changes to remuneration and incentives. Yes, it sounds easy. Requiring things like board and executive remuneration for the longer term over the short term based on investment or on equity rather than immediate profit and loss is required. But these take time to achieve. Having the leadership and people be the change they wish to see and to treat others as they themselves would wish to be treated requires skilling, the ability to do, and training the how to do through scenario-based, role-specific, business-specific with exercises for capacity and capability of building. Again, the rewards and incentives need to be changed. This is not easy. It is the people who implement AI and make changes. So we need to make changes to influence people through leadership, skilling and training, and revised incentives. Operations. How we manage operations to change, including being customer-centric and operating end-to-end across the silos with leadership who are prepared to make the changes. It is the mutual interaction of environment, people, leadership, and operations which brings the required changes and stops the cycle repeating. The question remains, are we prepared to make the changes or just accept? We know the factors impacting, and it is basically history repeating. We know what to do, but the question as ever is, what will we do? Thank you for your time. May the skills and expertise shared be of value to you and those you support in this changing world. Please subscribe, add your comments, and share with others.